Hey, welcome back to Classy and Sassy. I'm your host, Erica Regina. And this week, we're slowing things down a little bit with what I am calling a soft reset. You ever feel like life's gotten a little too loud? Physically, mentally, even emotionally? You're busy, your house feels cluttered, your brain is in 10 different places, and your to-do list, it looks a mile long. Yeah, same. So in today's episode, we are going to talk about how decluttering your spaces, one room at a time, can actually change your mindset and your mood. We'll talk about cleaning mental clutter, setting routines that actually work, letting go of comparison, and giving yourself space to grow quietly. And of course, I'm also sharing some updates on what I'm reading right now, as what I plan to get to next. So grab a coffee, light a candle, and let's talk about what it really means to reset without burning out. Let's start with the obvious one, the physical clutter. Because listen, sometimes it's not your mindset that's off, it's your environment. When we decided to buy this house, it seemed like it would have more than enough space. It's only two of us. However, it always seems as if we don't have any space for anything. That means either this house is smaller than we thought, or we have too much crap. And I'm going with the latter. Deciding to declutter your home can sound completely overwhelming. So, I've been tackling one room at a time, and sometimes it's really one space in a room at a time. Because every space is different, and it needs to be approached with that mindset. My office, for example, it sets the tone for how I create. If it's messy, I end up feeling mentally scattered. My kitchen, if it's disorganized, I find myself reaching for what's convenient instead of calm. Decluttering doesn't have to mean a full overhaul. It could be one drawer, one shelf, or one space that you use every day. What I've noticed is that every time I clear something out, I feel lighter. Not just visually, but emotionally. Sometimes starting with the one small space will give you motivation to do another one and another one in the same day. Do you know how much less stress it is to have things in appropriate organization, baskets and bins, and be clearly labeled, to open a drawer or a closet and see everything neatly stacked, organized in appropriate places where you can find it super easily? And doing it that way also helps you keep it that way much easier if you can just put it back where you had it. It's almost like you're telling your brain, we're making room for something better. And here's a little tip. Do not try to do it all in one day. You will end up looking like a tornado hit a space. And that's just demotivating. Pick one small area a week. That one change will build momentum. By the end of the month, you will look up and realize your environment feels different. And so do you. Now what I did, I made a complete list of every room I wanted to hit and then broke it down to the areas in those rooms. That way I can mark off the smaller areas as I hit them to give me a constant big picture overview of what I still need. And not everything needs to be thrown away. There are charities you can donate to, some of which will even pick these items up for you. We also have Facebook groups in our area, so you probably do as well, where you can literally post things into these groups that you're getting rid of to see who else might need some of those same items. And the ones here, they're set just for your general area. That way, people can come and do what we call a porch pickup to get the items. I've seen people do everything from furniture to boxes of books. Now, I'm not giving away books, but hey, everybody's, you get it. Now, let's talk about the clutter you can't see. The mental kind. Sometimes it's not the stuff in your house weighing you down. It's the stuff in your head. The constant worry, the overthinking, the replaying what you should have done, or trying to predict every possible outcome before you even get started. I've had to start asking myself, what thought am I holding on to that isn't serving me anymore? For me, that's been perfectionism. Feeling like I need to have the perfect plan before I take a step. That mindset creates paralysis. You can waste so much time trying to learn all the things, figure out all the unknowns, prepare for all the problems, and all that time could actually be getting utilized, actually making an effort, and then revising the things that don't seem to work along the way. So here's the thing I've started doing. Some quick daily mindset resets. A 5-minute brain dump. Now for me, my organizer has pages just literally called brain dump pages. Everyone doesn't require that. Some people brain dump into the notes app of their phone, or their journals, or just into quick daily Word docs. Whatever works for you. But do a little brain dump to get those thoughts out of your head and help you. I also try to make a conscious effort to try to let go of a thought that does not serve me and replace it with one that does. Or by taking short digital breaks where I'm not picking up my phone and I don't have the TV on, just to let my mind have a moment to reset. Sometimes I do that simply by sitting in my reading room, because there are no TVs in that room, and just having a cup of coffee, lighting a candle, and letting my brain go. Because as women, we have a tendency to have a million tabs open at once. You'd be surprised how freeing it feels to take time to declutter your mind the same way you declutter your space. Now, let's talk about routines, because we all love the idea of being that girl, the one with the perfect schedule. But here's the truth. Life is not Pinterest perfect, especially when you're an entrepreneur or creative. Yes, you need flexibility, but you also need structure, not one or the other. For me, it's about rhythm, not routine. Yes, I like color coding my week. We've talked about that. But I don't do it to box myself in, but to make sure I'm balancing energy across everything. Career, writing, podcasting, rest, whatever it may be. The trick is to plan your energy and not just your task. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you know you are a more focused person in the mornings, plan accordingly. But if you know you're a little slow in the mornings and you're definitely not feeling creative, then find a schedule and rhythm that will work better to get things done for you. See, here's the thing about being in charge of your own career goals. You don't have the normal corporate structure telling you that you need to work X amount of days for X amount of hours. And for that reason, sometimes people get a little lost in the minutia of trying to figure it all out and not really getting enough done. Some days are high output. Others are reset days. Neither is better, but both are necessary. And don't beat yourself up if you fall off for a day or two, because resetting is all a part of the rhythm. Now, this one, it may sting a little bit. Comparison. We all do it, especially online. You scroll, you see someone crushing it, and suddenly your progress feels small. But here's the thing. You're comparing your in progress to somebody else's highlight reel. Think about that. Do you have any idea how much some of the people you may be comparing yourself to are people you would never want to trade places with if you knew the truth? How many times have you thought a couple had the absolute perfect marriage based on what you saw online, only to find out later that one of the partners was abusive or unfaithful? Or what about the people who seem to have amazing success in brand new career endeavors? The reality may very well be that they were working very, very hard on that career long before they let anyone know. It wasn't some overnight success like you may think. We only see what people want us to see online. So stop comparing yourself to others. Now, I know there are a lot of people who tell you to unfollow people to protect your peace if you find yourself feeling some type of way about their content. But really, you also have the option to just mute them for a bit while you focus. Mute isn't petty, it's self-care. Now, keep in mind, I'm talking about people that you do like, but you just feel like their success or achievements are bothering you. People who are having a negative impact on you for other reasons, absolutely, go ahead and unfollow. When you do scroll social media, remind yourself, I'm not behind. I'm still in development. Everyone's timeline looks different because everyone's assignment is different. Don't trade your peace for a performance. Now, we talk a lot about getting out of your comfort zone. People always tell you that success requires you to get out of your comfort zone. But lately, I've been redefining mine. Your comfort zone doesn't have to be something you escape. It can also just be something you expand. Back in the day, I thought success was about chasing new accomplishments. Now in this chapter, it's about deepening what I already love. Building stability, improving health, more intentional connections. The goal is not to start all over. It's just to start smarter. So instead of blowing up your whole life, ask what's one thing I can stretch a little today. That's how sustainable growth really works. Now, for my fellow book lovers, let's talk about what's currently on my nightstand, as we say. I am still reading 107 Days by Kamala Harris. And I'll be honest, it's one of those books that really makes you think. It's political, yes, but also a deeply personal look into every one of those days from the very moment former President Biden announced he was not going to continue to run. It's about resilience, focus, and grace under pressure. 3 things I've been leaning into this season. Then, of course, for my lovely thriller fix, I started and finished The Intruder by Frida McFadden. I'm pretty sure I said her books never take you more than a day or two. And she never misses. Her writing always gives you the perfect mix of a little suspense and a little, wait, what? Now, I will warn you, if you have never read anything by Frida, her books do have a tendency to make you suspend some thoughts a little bit. Like, there's no way this person would really get away with that in the real world. No way the cops are not smart, for lack of a better explanation, all the time. But it's fiction. Not terribly realistic fiction, but entertaining fiction still. Now, next up for me in fiction will be She Didn't See It Coming by Sherry LaPena, because I picked it up a while ago and I still haven't even started it. And I've heard really good things about it. Now, I have been switching back to my Kindle lately for any digital books I'm reading. Partially because the battery lasts longer, but also because it helps separate rest from distraction. There are no notifications, no net apps to go from reading and back to, just books. It's peaceful in a way my iPad isn't when all I want to do is read. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still all about my physical books as well, especially the ones from people I want to learn a lot from. I'm annotating and keeping them within easy reach where I can reread things of impact that I'm learning when I need it. So if you've been struggling to get back into reading, maybe the trick isn't always the book. It could also be the device. You want to switch it up from time to time and see what works for you. For some people, they only like the feel and the texture of a page. For some of us who know we can go through multiple books in a week, then our Kindle works extremely well for us, especially when we're traveling. Because you ever tried putting like 5 or 6 books into a suitcase and seeing how heavy it is versus throwing that one little iPad in your purse? Yeah. So here's your challenge for the week. Pick one thing to reset. Maybe it's your kitchen counter. Maybe it's your camera roll. Maybe it's that one limiting belief that's been holding you hostage. You don't need to start over. You just need to start lighter. Because every small reset creates space for something bigger to bloom. Now, if you like today's episode, follow Classy and Sassy wherever you listen to podcasts, and come say hi on TikTok or Instagram or direct message me. Tell me what you're decluttering or resetting this week. I love hearing how you grow in your own way. Until next time, stay classy, stay sassy, and always protect your peace.